Joining us now is the 92 gamer for the Roosters and the Sea Eagles. It is a bloke who, our man Justin Horro, the scope, he says TPM, tries per minute. This bloke was an absolute beauty. Tommy Symonds, who's now the General Manager of Past Players and Transition at the RLPA. G'day, Tommy.
Joel, Fletch.
How you going, Tommy?
Very well, thanks. It's a nice wrap from our man Justin Horro.
Yeah.
Probably says a bit more about how much time I spent off the field or on the bench rather than my tries, but I'll take it.
He reckons, like in the history of rugby league,
Yeah.
your ratio
TPM.
to time on the field, no one even comes close. Are you aware of this?
Yeah, I'm very aware. It's on my wall at home. Pride and joy.
Tommy TPM Symonds. Tommy, just before we get into the RLPA stuff, you've played in that grand final with Hoz 2013. What are your memories of this week leading into a grand final?
Oh, super exciting.
Yeah.
We were both a bit younger at the time and probably just tried to absorb it. We didn't get the result, so that part obviously sucked. But
Was a cheeky good game that, Brian? Roosters and Manly of 2013.
we can't help but look back and felt like we got a little bit hard done by.
Oh,
Yeah.
what for? Forward pass?
One or two.
Yeah.
What about the penalty try? Remember that?
I do.
Who was that?
unusual. Was that Orbo?
Yeah, and Jamie Lyon.
Yeah.
So that was well deserved.
Yeah.
So who scored? I forget that one.
Yeah, so it was a penalty try.
Who scored the try?
Jamie Lyon. Orbo
Oh,
got
Manly
it.
scored the try.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I'm still sort of. Anyway, it was a good game.
I haven't watched it back, so
Haven't you?
that might not have even happened. 'Cause
Yeah.
I've tried to erase it from the memory.
Oh, wow.
You've got to sort of harness that, isn't it? Like that's part. Not many players get to play in a grand final.
Yeah, that's true. It was a good experience.
Yeah.
Would have loved to have got back there and got another chance to take it out, but not to be. So
No,
the week itself was
It was good.
a cracker, but
Wow.
the result not so much.
Now, how did you get involved with the RLPA? So when you finished, did you have a break?
So I went over to England for a couple of years,
Yeah.
and then as soon as I came back, I essentially was weighing up what to do next. And I was always a really passionate player advocate when I was in the NRL, and was heavily involved with the RLPA. So it was a bit of a natural progression to get back in and try and get really involved in supporting players, current players, and obviously now past players as well.
How far has it come? Like, because we don't really
Huge way.
see. I mean, we hear about it. We don't really know. Can you compare on how many staff was there, and was it at the start? Was the NRL taking you serious?
I suppose when I first started playing, it was hard just to get complete trust and buy-in amongst the playing group. It did develop over time, but I mean, it's chalk and cheese from those days from 10, 15 years ago to now. All the players are well and truly on board, rusted on, and really driving the direction day to day of what we do at the RLPA. So it has come a long way, which is awesome to see. It's great for players, and I mean, it's showing that the game's as good as it is now as ever. So
Yeah.
it's clearly having a positive impact on the game as well.
Do they have to pay members' fees out of their own kick? Or
Yep.
How does that all work?
Yeah, so we negotiate a share of revenue for the players,
Yes.
and the fees for the union
Come out of that.
come out of the players' share of revenue. So along with a number of other benefits that players are entitled to, tickets, insurances, all these types of things. Our past player and transition program, which is where I'm working in now, and our wellbeing and education programs, all that sort of funding comes out of the players' share of revenue.
And is the girls similar model, identical model?
Yeah, so the girls, similar sort of thing. It's a one share of revenue, which is, I guess, the players, and within that comes both men's and women's payments
Oh, okay.
and benefits. Yep.
So what's been the big items this year, Tommy? Like, I mean, a couple of years ago it seemed a little bit frosty. It seems as though the relationships are good now. Is there things you're still working toward, or are you pretty much where you need to be?
Yeah, for sure. There's always things we're working on trying to improve. Probably we're in between sort of negotiation cycles, so things have calmed down a fair bit, but there's certainly a few things front of mind at the moment. A couple of reviews and things that are a priority for us at the moment, getting the integrity system sort of looked at, and hopefully get a few changes there with an independent decision-making process would be a great result. And even the agent accreditation scheme, something we're keen to progress, and I'm sure the whole game is as well. So there are a couple of the priorities. And then naturally our past play and transition program is been up and running for 2 years now, and we feel like we're making some good strides. Plenty more work to do, but that's certainly been a big focus for our team.
Can I ask you this? This time last year, Fletch, he was looking, well, he looks dapper anyway.
I know.
Particularly dapper. Suited and booted. This time a bit more casual. No Dally M's tonight?
No, no Dally M's. I must have said the wrong thing to the wrong person.
Or did you do so? It was the Integrity Commission.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be if you investigate the Integrity Commission?
So, no, unfortunately, I've got a big week ahead, Fletch. We've got a number of events, RLPA events. We've got a Past Player Summit on Saturday. We're side by side with this year's retiring players group for 4 days. So we've got some events for those guys.
For 4 days, there's a camp.
Well, I suppose it's sort of like a camp, yeah. So grand final luncheon tomorrow.
Yep.
The retiring players get welcomed and a send off. Saturday we're having our summit, which is available to all past players in our program, and then a reunion to let the hair down Saturday night, and naturally the grand final day Sunday to celebrate players on field and their achievements, the retiring players, that is.
Yes.
And what have we got? A sneaky golf day tomorrow morning for Levels Golf Day with our friends. Yeah.
Tommy, can I ask you this question? I suppose you can't sort of quantify it, but players that are retiring, coming out of retirement, how many would come to you with absolutely no idea what they're going to do? Like, would it be half of them?
It's a mix. We find there's probably a whole range. People who have studied and prepared throughout their career and are really sort of set on their path and pretty well on path of what they want to do post-career. Those who haven't really prepared or maybe just haven't explored enough. And we find that people tend to find employment, but it might just take a few years and a bit of a trial and error as to what they're actually passionate about. Because naturally, if you haven't had a chance to
find out what it is.
Yeah, exactly. So you might have people who have prepared really well, but then find post-footy, hang on, I actually want to try something different. It turns out that I didn't really enjoy that. So we find what our focus is on is actually finding meaningful work rather than just work.
Gotcha.
So what is it that you actually enjoy doing? Some people, might end up working in the mines for a few years and working out, well, that helped me, transition and financially, but what's the next pivot? How can we help them work out what they're going to enjoy longer term? Then you got some people doing some really awesome things straight out of the game, whether it's in media, you're still involved in rugby league or actually completely away from the sport. We've got lawyers and all sorts of things.
I know we've got Kingy.
Yes,
How many other lawyers we got?
We've got Dale Copley, who's a bloody legend.
Really?
Yep.
Is he a lawyer?
Yes.
Wow.
So studied law throughout his career and a bunch of other stuff.
Awesome.
Super smart guy. He's a great fella. And he's coming down on Saturday actually as well to join us at our Past Players Summit.
Maybe to represent some players going to court.
That's right.
Tommy, have you hooked up with companies? Like, is there, for example, I'm just thinking, spitballing, Built, the construction company. Do you have companies coming to you guys saying, listen, we'd love to have, because I know the Wolves love a rugby league player, and heaps of, especially down at Port Botany, and a mate of mine was telling me the reason why they love it is because you're in a team down there. They work hard. Like I can think of Les Davidson, David Gillespie as amongst others.
Craig Hancock.
They find that
Peaky.
they work better in a team. Do you have other
Totally.
companies coming to you saying, you know what, these blokes have spent half their life quite disciplined. We want to tap into that.
Yeah, for sure. We've got a bunch of sort of externals that reach out, and some of them are really great options, and some, take it or leave it. But you're right about the teamwork and camaraderie aspect. For some people, that's what they want post-footy. So we have a fair chunk of people who are interested in going to the Fireys. We've had some people enter the police force, and as you said, Wolfies, fellas in the mines, or even just staying involved in the coaching side of it and the wellbeing side of rugby league as well.
Can I ask you, Tommy, it is the Dally M's tonight, and you've announced your winner. The Rugby League Players Association Player of the Year went to?
James Tedesco.
James Tedesco. He won the SEN Player of the Year, and he's very much a massive candidate, and we think he will win the Dally M tonight. Can I just go back to this year you've chosen not to have the big splash and ceremony, and you're doing it all digitally, right?
Yes. It's a pivot we made a number of years ago now.
Good word. Mate,
Pivot, yes.
As a battler from Bondi, you would never use that word until pivot. I just pivoted.
Yeah.
So what are the green shoots for doing it through the digital?
Well, it's more exposure. We've
Did you
got
take it offline?
We'll take that offline, Fletch.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's worked out better for reach as a starting point. So obviously our players as well live on social media these days. Time is very challenging to get. So having a one awards night obviously is great. Dally M's, sure.
Yep.
But for us, we find this is a much better way to promote the players and their achievements over a few week period.
Yep.
We get to have players appear on, whether it's SEN or any other media,
Yep.
radio, TV opportunities to promote that. And the players really get around it rather than, I suppose, just that couple of hours a one night, which, again, was something we used to do, but we found that this is way more successful for us.
We had the gentleman, I can't remember his name, he was German or Dutch. He came in. He came out with his...
Oh, yes.
He helped out in America.
Yeah, with Clint. It was about the
Naming...
name, image, likeness.
Yes, NIL.
Yep.
Yes. This gentleman, he was coming out for 3 days. You blokes went half with him with the NRL.
Oh, Jonas.
Jonas.
Yes.
Was that a success?
So that's still building. So
Yeah.
that's a relatively new project.
Just bullet points for us, Tommy. What? No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, why did we get
Pivot.
him? Why did we pivot and get him?
Essentially, in the last negotiation with the NRL, we have now sort of helped players get more control over their collective group IP. So as a group, everyone's IP, how can we help them maximise the revenues for that? So Jonas and his team at One Team had some experience overseas in a lot of American sports and making inroads into other countries as well. And a lot of that is to help expand and grow more revenue with that collective IP. So an example might be trading cards.
Yes.
Yeah.
How can we maximise the players' return on their IP?
If, for example, Reece Walsh comes and says, "I've got a deal with Pepsi for $200,000," is he allowed to engage with that company?
We've got a can of worms here, Fletch. There are limitations. So his particular club and the NRL may have major sponsors which you can't compete with.
Like if they were sponsored by Coke, he can't go for
Are we talking about third party?
I'm talking about, no, he's done it himself. The club hasn't put up the third party.
But the club can't put the third party up.
Well,
the agent has to.
Sorry. Yeah. Well, yeah. It's what you said. Exactly what you said. Exactly what you said. I'm saying I'm Reece Walsh. I've got a $200,000 offer on the table.
Yep.
Reece is, I'm sure he's getting plenty of interest for his off-field deals. But yeah, so there are certain, I guess, limitations, but there's also, the complicating factors, or not complicated, but whether Reece is doing something in his own streetwear or whether he's wearing a Broncos jersey. So it can be complex, but naturally we're of the view that players should be able to maximise their revenue. Reece is a superstar, right? So the amount of, his image is super, super valuable, so he should be able to get a strong return for that.
So, Fletch, I think if I'm reading this right, Tommy, at the moment it's the Telstra Premiership.
Yes.
So, therefore, Reece couldn't just run out and do a deal with Optus as it stands. Is that fair to say that?
Yeah, depending on the situation.
The
But yes.
situation, okay. Because, remember Jerry Jones? He went
Yes,
rogue.
yeah, I
Who
know.
did he go with, Pepsi?
Pepsi, no, sponsored by Coke.
Yeah.
What about the average? Now, this is a stat that it blows my mind, and I'm sure you have it. The average career of a first grader.
Yeah, so it varies obviously from time to time, but we're looking at roughly around 4 years, 3 to 4 years, 40-odd games is about average, which seems pretty crazy. But we do see players who have played anywhere from 0 or 1 game from to many of our stars who have played 300. And that's sort of one of the, principles of our past play and transition program is we essentially say whether you've played 1 or 1,000, you're part of the family. You're able to access all the same things. And so, as an example, this weekend we're celebrating the retiring group. But Saturday at our summit, we've got Benny Lovett from South Sydney Rabbitohs, who unfortunately had to retire from injury, which is more common than you'd think. He played a handful of games. Unfortunately, lost his career. Come along, mate. You're part of the group. You're a part of an NRL top 30 group, so you're just as much a part of this as Kieran Foran, who's just retired after
That's great.
however many games. So sorry to answer
No,
long, Fletch,
that's
but
fine.
yeah,
I
about
like this
4 years.
Okay, it's been mooted. This is your words, pivot. Mine's mooted. The Peter Volandis is going to sign. Well, he wants $3 billion for the next rights. Ends in 27. If we do get that, if we got a broadcast deal worth $3 billion.
Sorry, Tommy. You get some clues with Fletch. Like he starts writing down what he's going to ask you before he asks you. So if you want a clue, just keep an eye on what
I'm visual. $3 billion. Where do you anticipate in your lifetime working here where the salary cap will get to?
Could get to.
Anticipation.
Sky's the limit. It really just depends on how much revenue is coming into the game and players getting a fair share of that.
That's what I'm saying. Just say we get $3 billion. I think last one was 1.5. If we get $3 billion, could you see go from 20, 25, 30?
One day.
Yeah.
I mean, naturally, it's a bit like your house in Bondi, Fletch.
That's a good answer.
Your house,
Stop
when you
looking.
bought it, was $1
Yeah,
million,
stop
and you think, oh, can it get to 10 million? That's impossible. And suddenly, in 2025...
well played, Tommy.
So I can't imagine why the salary cap won't continue to increase, and it should if the revenue's going up.
Does it align with if that's double?
Give me your paper.
No. This isn't Fletch. This is Brian the journo here, and I'm hammering you because I'm all for the players making as much money as you can.
Yes.
Because as you said, the average career is 40 games.
I'll tell you something that is worth pointing out.
Hit me
So,
right between the eyes.
as I said before, we negotiate a share of revenue for players, but the players who are part of our leadership structure and our board, they'll ultimately say, how do we want to divvy that up? So they may, as time goes, suggest maybe we need to funnel some of that increase into things like insurance,
Yep.
funds like the Past Player and Transition Program, Past Player Medical Support Fund.
Juniors.
Yeah, the great try per minute pay rise. All this.
And we've got the women's game as well
Yeah,
that's
it's flying.
continuing to grow. So exciting times. Bit of speculation about what it might look like, but
I love how you're just you're very political.
Tommy,
am I? I need to get off the fence. What can I do?
No, Tommy, you're good.
Get
Any
off the
questions you got for the great man? We're going to break. Do you mind hanging around for a few more minutes?
Let's do it.
We were talking in the break around the awards, and I asked you, how is it actually, I find this interesting, how is it voted upon? I know the players make the votes, but what is the procedure?
So it's essentially player voted, the entire process. Each team nominates what we call contenders.
Yes,
So you end up with a top 4 from each playing squad.
yes.
Those group of players then go to the entire playing group to vote 3-2-1 for their MVP.
Yep.
Results in the players' champion. Obviously, for us this year, James Tedesco, 4th time, equals Jonathan Thurston.
So there's about 70 contenders.
Yep.
And only you can nominate for 3 players.
Yes.
Okay.
And it's that after round 27.
Yes, end of season. Correct.
End of season, they'll get the 4 and they go tick, 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 tick.
Correct. And
Do you feel personality has something to do with it as well? It's got to be liked.
I don't think so because year after year the results kind of speak for themselves.
Yeah.
I said no, not really. We often say, well, let's just let the players decide when it comes to these things, and that's how it comes out. So I don't think it is. I think it's pretty genuine, and particularly even the starting point. You nominate. You want to put forward players from your team who are genuinely had a great year and hope they get voted. And we also have some other factors at our award, which we like to think helps avoid some issues. Like if someone gets a suspension for a couple of weeks or misses some footy, they're not ineligible. And again, you're just letting the players decide if someone's played 10 games or 24.
Brian, last 2 rookies of the year.
Last 2 rookies of the year with the RLPA.
You've announced this year's, haven't you?
We have.
Okay, so Lockie Galvin, ineligible last year, won it for the RLPA.
Yes.
And Marky Mark won the RLPAs.
Ineligible.
And I said to Tommy, how did you think about that? And what did you say?
So my response was, we don't have any rules that would say Marky Mark's ineligible. So we simply stuck to what our system was and said the players will decide if they don't think he's the rookie of the year or it shouldn't be allowed to win or deserve it, then they'll let us know. And Marky Mark won the award. It was a great school of rookies this year, so I mean they all did great. But our players said Marky Mark was the rookie of the year, so I mean great job for him. He killed it, didn't he?
Yeah.
Do you feel the Dally M's might steal your idea? I feel there's a players player coming.
Oh, okay.
I feel there's a players player coming.
I don't know if that will happen because the players player is our award. So
well,
I'm not sure that'll happen. I mean, the Dally M's
say.
is great, and I hope we get some great award winners tonight. But I just
I'm not trying to put a divide.
Could it ever come together or no? Not in the short term?
I can't see it. It doesn't happen in other sports. So, but we're really proud of our awards and how far they've come. But naturally, some years like this year, you may end up with the same champion, and sometimes it may differ.
Okay, there you go.
I think you're right on this one.
Tommy Symonds, thank you for for coming in studio to join us. We appreciate that. And try per minute. It was a great time, wasn't it, Brian?
It was.
Appreciate it.
What, you're still here? Well, you can see more on the Joel and Fletch socials and catch us live on SEN Radio, you beautiful humans.